6 o'clock or whatever. That night before I went to bed, I just said, you know what, I wonder if it's even money. I wasn't trying to check on my kids, nothing. I just went over in there and I called it up, and I just opened up the thing, and there was this transcript of this chat that my daughter was having with some total stranger, and she was younger then, much younger. And I was like, oh my God. So the next day I said, what on earth were you thinking? I mean, didn't I tell you that, like at dinner time, that I'm putting that on there? I don't know. That, you know, you spend $5,000 a year on or more on a Jewish education, all this history and all that we can come up with. I don't know. The next day, I spoke to her about it. That next night, again, I figured, okay, I should learn a lesson. Let me just look at it. She did it again. So that's when I said, okay, look, enough of this. So we grounded her for a little while from being able to chat. You know, it's one thing if you say, okay, that's it, no more chatting, but, you know, you can't ground a kid indefinitely because then it becomes hopeless and you'll just never make any progress with them, so you time it out. But I really find that by suggesting to parents that they put a keylogger on there, these keyloggers, by the way, not only can you go right onto it and check it, but you can actually have it emailed to you somewhere else, a log of everything that has happened. And I recommend doing it. And I also recommend telling your kids about it. Say, look, I'm going to do this. You know, put a sign on there so you'll remember, whatever you want to do. But I do suggest that that's probably one of the more effective ways of dealing with it.
Is the one you mentioned, the jnet.com, the word the and the letter J?
The, THEJNET.com. But yes, it's, I'm not endorsing their product. It's just I know that it's a Jewish organization and they're trying to gear themselves toward this. Anybody else? In the back, yes, ma'am. Got a screen.
I read recently that Rockland County has the highest rate of identity theft in, I don't know, the state or...
Where'd you read that? Curious.
I read it too.
Where?
Muncie Shopper.
The Advocate, right?
I'm not sure, it might have been in, I think it was in your time.
Really? No, I don't read the Times, but I find that very interesting. If there's an identity theft case, it would probably come through our unit, and we really don't have a lot of them. We do have, but I wouldn't say that it's like crazy, unless there's just nothing else going on in the state.
I think they still have the number of 162 in the last year or some year. But in any event, are there things that you would recommend to prevent that?
Well, again, the real victims, or the most obvious victims, are the elderly. I'll tell you a very quick story of my wife's stepmother. She called us up and told us that she won the lottery.
Oh, gosh.
We said, wow, that's unbelievable. She won $500,000. Okay, we're in the money. And she said, all I had to do was go to the bank and take out $4,200 and send it to this man, and they were going to... So I said, did you buy the lottery ticket? No. Did you get a letter in the mail that said you won? No, they just called me on the phone. So she told me later, of course, that when she went to the bank to take out the money, she told the teller, shh, don't tell anybody, just give it to me quietly. And she said, why do you need all this money? So she said, well, keep it a secret, but I won the lottery. So she went and got the bank manager, and the bank manager said, I hate to break it to you, but you didn't win anything. So those are the most susceptible people to that type of crime. And I mean, there's actually a federally funded organization that spends a lot of time educating police around the country on how to educate and investigate identity theft of the elderly. But basically, you know, when you go to a restaurant, don't sit there at the table and give them your credit card. You can get up and go to the thing and pay them right there so that you can see what they're doing. Because it's one thing if you give your credit card and they steal the number off of it. It's that much more if they've got that 3-digit code on the back. Because then it seems as if actually have the card in your hand.
It's very interesting you mentioned about this 3-digit code. I knew nothing about it until recently. There were two instances this past month that I needed to give my credit card number over the phone. Both happened to be Jewish things, and they asked me for the 3-digit code. And I said, well, I never had to give this before. They said it's required. Now, is this legal? I mean, is this... It's funny, I couldn't have ordered it without getting it, but once you give a code, then that doesn't sound to me very safe, because they're recording it. It doesn't make sense. One happens to be for...
It's a real judgment call.
Yeah,
If you feel that it's a secure, place that you're giving it to,
well,
you
the
don't
person
know.
is, I mean, it was like, one was the Chazanot concert, but the point is, I'm sure they're from person, I'm dealing, but if they're recording it, who else knows who has access to the record?
Right.
So that doesn't make sense.
Well, one thing that you can do with online transactions,
I can do it online.
the
but I
phone
don't
is
call
a tough call, but with online transactions, you can actually go to your bank now. You can call them, or you can do it online, and you can actually set up a number of things. One of which is you can set up that for the next hour, they give you a whole new account number that's only good for that hour. You can do it as a one-time deal. As I understand it, I haven't tried it myself yet, but you can actually set up to do for vendors. Let's say you shop at Land's End a lot. You can set up so that they have a specific account to your credit card that won't work with any other company. So those are things that you can do, and then you don't, the CVV code only has to be put in one time when you first set it up. But again, over the telephone, it's really a judgment call.
Well, even if I did it on the internet, one of the reasons I called them is because I don't like to do things like that on the internet. But it also asks for it on the internet, so once the information goes to them,
Well, again,
their
what you
office,
can do is go to your credit card company
yeah.
and set yourself up with an online, I forget, all the different card companies have different names for it, but you can set up that temporary code so that it's only good for that round, and then you don't need that, you get a separate CVV code for that transaction. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you alluded before to the growing menace and prevalence of online gambling. Now, I think there are many people here who are also aware of the fact that this has become quite prevalent in the yeshiva community. Has there been any proactivity on the part of yeshivas to come to you or facilities like yours to help them in dealing with these matters?
Simple answer, no. There only is a very, very rudimentary understanding at this point in the film world that this is a problem. And it's an education thing. And again, so many communities say, oh, it's not us, it's them. It's every other community. I can tell you that I've been to Baltimore now a couple of times. I'm going to be back in Baltimore speaking very shortly, actually. It's, in communities all across, it's just a very, very big problem with this online gambling. There are no less than 4 or 5 TV poker shows now. You can sit and just watch people. I don't get it. But that's what they do. They sit and play poker, but you can do it online. They have now poker sites that are free to teach you how to play poker with cyber money so that later on you can then start spending real money, and the stakes are huge. People are winning millions of dollars at these things and starting small. People are losing millions of dollars also. You can't win millions without someone else losing millions. No one's paying for it. But yeah, it's, I'll give you, for instance, when my wife was a young girl and her parents sent her away to yeshiva, she grew up in a public school environment, and she remembers as a young girl, a young teen, all her friends trying to save up money. They wanted to try marijuana. And for weeks and weeks and weeks, they tried to save up however much money they needed to buy marijuana, that, $5 or whatever it was, and they couldn't come up with the money. She went away to yeshiva, and now everybody had plenty of money, and they were smoking pot like it was, like drinking tea. And because they had money. We tend to be a more affluent society, therefore we have more money available, and it becomes a whole lot easier to enable. When I spoke, as I said, in Englewood recently, a lot of these kids live in homes, their bedroom is bigger than my first apartment that I had. They have everything but their own kitchen in there, and the parents just, put a computer in there and put in big screen TVs and, don't bother me, I've got to go shopping, you guys go play in the bedroom. So, we need to be careful about those things, but this gambling issue it's wrecking families left and right because the stakes are so huge. But you're right, there should be some proactive work on it. There isn't yet. We're getting there.
What is the biggest problem with technology that you see in the Jewish communities? Computer.
I'm sorry, the biggest
The
problem?
biggest problem that you think is affecting the Frum community, computer-wise?
The biggest problem affecting the film community computer-wise? That's a tough question. It would have to be...
I have the answer. I have the answer.
I didn't ask you.
I've got the answer. We've run out of time, but I'm going to answer it for you. The biggest problem that the Frum community faces is parents not talking to their children.
Well, that goes back to what this girl was being parents. But before we end, I promised I would do this to myself. I was born and raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga is 12 miles approximately from Whitwell, Tennessee. Whitwell, Tennessee is where the movie Paperclips takes place. And I just watched the movie the other night, and I differ from Peter a little bit. I cried through the whole thing because I grew up with some of those rednecks. And to think that these kids have this understanding of what's going on is just beyond belief for me, having come from that area of the country and having had my head kicked in all those years in public school. The principal of the school is Mrs. Hooper. She was recently given an honorary doctorate by Yeshiva University. When my daughter graduated, she got it that same day, and I got to spend some time with her. My parents are very good friends with her, and as a matter of fact, next Friday I will actually be there because I'm going down to visit my parents next weekend, and we're going up to Whitwell. Down there they call it Whitwell, but it's a town of 1,600 people. And when you watch the movie, I don't want to give anything away, although it's not anything to give away, but they didn't know what a million of anything was. They'd never seen 10,000 of anything. There's kids, in the movie they say it, there are kids from Chattanooga who don't even know where Whitwell is, and there are kids in Whitwell that have never been outside of Chattanooga, the big city. So it's just amazing that this thing happened, and it's really a moving story, and I don't care what you got planned for next week, be here to watch that movie because it is absolutely incredible movie to watch, and it's very uplifting to see it. I don't, you'll write me the check later. Make sure you come see it. It's a wonderful. Bring your friends to see it too.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you all for coming. Phil is available.
If anybody is interested in talking to me privately, or if you have an issue or whatever, I've got my business card back on the back table there. Don't hesitate to take it.
It's very important. Most of you have left, so the ones that left volunteers. Moish Kranzer was to be here. He was here. He left. He was feeling well. But Moish has dealt with these issues. So if anyone is aware of an issue or has any issues, certainly see people like Moish Kranzer. There's a number of them, mental health professionals in our shul who are available. That's one of the reasons why we asked Phil to come, is because they are dealing with these issues. So
I am also, by the way, a member of Nefesh International, which is the mental health, from mental health care organization. As a matter of fact, I'll be speaking at their conference in Baltimore coming up, so if anyone is already going to be there, I'll see you again.
great. Thank you.
But if the police know it's comfortable to be criminalized, then he would take it out of reference that.
It's